Hello students, today we are going to study an example of D'Alembert's principle. So it is related to the problem of Newtonian mechanics, that is an example of D'Alembert's principle. So this is the example: a block of mass m glides down an inclined frictionless plane, obtains this equation of motion using D'Alembert's principle. So this question or this problem was asked in summer 16 and summer 18 examination for 4 and 8 marks. So first of all, we have to consider an inclined plane PQ. So suppose PQ is an inclined frictionless plane, and suppose some block A of mass m is gliding over this inclined plane PQ, and this n be the normal force acting on the block A in this direction. So this normal force will push this block m in upward direction. So let theta be the angle of inclination, and suppose the weight, that is the force of that mass m or block A, that is force mg, that is related to that is due to the weight of this block m is acting downward, and this is mg is acting downward, and this weight or this force can be resolved into two components. Okay, one sine and cos component. Sine component is mg sine theta, which is acting in the direction of this block A. Okay, so this is in the direction of this inclined plane, whereas the second component mg cos theta is perpendicular to the inclined plane. Okay, now the normal force n, okay, which is pulling mass m in upward direction, okay, which is balanced by this force, that is mg cos theta. So normal force n and mg cos theta will cancel each other, so only the force component, that is mg sin theta, will remain. So this mg sin theta is used to determine the equation of motion using D'Alembert's principle. So whatever we have quoted in the diagram, we can write in the text: consider a block mass m slides down an inclined frictionless plane PQ, let theta be the angle of inclination, and mg would be the force acting on the block in downward direction. This is due to the weight of the block A. Okay, and since it is inclined plane, this force can be resolved into two components. One is perpendicular component to the inclined plane, that is mg cos theta, and other is parallel component in the direction of that block A, that is mg sin theta. We have already discussed it. Now since block is sliding on an inclined plane, so it is exerting a force on inclined plane. So thus the equal and opposite force, that is normal force pushing the block back in the upward direction, okay, as we have seen in the diagram. Therefore these two forces, that is normal force and mg cos theta, balance each other. Okay, they will cancel each other, so only mg sin theta component of force will remain. So according to D'Alembert principle, we know the equation of D'Alembert principle: summation over I equal to 1 to n Fi, that is actual force, minus Pi dot, that is reverse effective force, okay, into dot delta Ri, that is virtual displacement, is equal to 0. Okay, so this is the equation of D'Alembert's principle that we have already derived in our previous lectures. Okay, now since this system contains only one block, okay, so only one block, so it is nothing but the one particle system. So I equal to 1, hence here is a one block, so I equal to 1. So equation 1 becomes, so I equal to 1 means it will the this is f1 minus p1 dot into delta r1 equal to 0. So this summation can be solved for one particle. So this is f1 minus p1 dot into delta r1 equal to 0. Now we know that this p1 dot is nothing but the time derivative of momentum. So dp1 by dt. Okay, so f1 minus this p1 dot can be written as dp1 by dt into delta r1 equal to 0, since p1 dot is equal to dp1 by dt, time derivative of p1, that is momentum. Okay, now we know that the linear momentum, that is linear momentum p, can be written as mass into velocity. So linear momentum can be written as p1 equal to mass into velocity, and this force component, okay, this force component is mg sine theta according to the diagram, because mg cos theta balance with normal force, so that component will cancel and only this component in the direction of motion of object A will remain. So in force will be mg sine theta. So we will put the value of force in equation number 2, value of force as well as linear momentum mass into velocity in equation number 2. So equation number 2 becomes, we get, this is f in place of f1 we have put mg sin theta minus d dt, okay, time derivative of mass into velocity, because p1 is linear momentum is equal to mass into velocity. Now mass is constant, so mass can be taken outside the derivative, so we'll get mg sin theta minus mass into dv by dt into delta r1. Now we know that the velocity is the rate of change of position vector, okay, we can be written as dr by dt, so it will become d2r by dt square. Since v is dr by dt, so it will become d2r by dt square. So mg sin theta minus m into d2r by dt square into delta r1 equal to 0. So d2r by dt square can be written as r double dot, since in classical mechanics time derivative can be written in the form of the dot using superscript, okay. So this will mg sin theta minus m r double dot into delta r1 equal to 0, since r double dot is d2r by dt square. Now we can take this m is common term, so m can be taken outside, so m is can be taken outside the bracket, so in the bracket the term will remain, that is g sin theta minus r double dot into delta r1 equal to 0, because mass of the object cannot be 0, so this mass can be divided by this on RHS, 0 divided by mass, so we'll get, so mass cannot be 0, so this term will be 0, so mg g sin theta minus r double dot into delta r1 equal to 0, since mass cannot be 0, so 0 divided by mass is 0. Now delta r1, okay, this delta r1 related to the virtual displacement and it cannot be 0, delta r1 cannot be 0, so delta r1 can be brought this right hand side, so 0 by delta r1 is 0, so we'll get g sin theta minus r double dot equal to 0, since delta r1 cannot be 0, so this g sin theta minus r double dot equal to 0, so it can be written as, if I bring this r double dot on that side, so r double dot is equal to g sin theta, suppose this is equation number 4, so this is the final required equation of motion for that problem using D'Alembert principle. So we have found out the equation of motion when a block of mass sliding on an inclined plane making an angle theta. So this is the equation of motion for that block when it is gliding down on inclined surface or inclined plane. So this is the final expression of equation of motion using D'Alembert principle. So thank you very much.